all. It's your family neighborhood panda here, back again with the most awesome Aussie that ever lived, DJ.
Hey everyone!
And we are continuing our journey through the epic, the musical. Now we're on the Thunder Saga. This is the second half, apparently, of
Mhm.
the whole thing. And the first song is called "Suffering."
Yeah, yeah. So we're starting off in a very positive place.
Right,
One can only
right.
think there's going to be the first one had a lot of trials and tribulation. My thought process is we got all that out of the way. This is going to be nothing but fluffy clouds and unicorns for the rest of the sagas, right?
Absolutely,
Right?
absolutely. We'll just
Cool.
okay. So to make sure, let's go through a checklist here. Let's make sure that we're gonna survive this one. You got a beverage?
I do. Yes.
Okay. You got
Pepsi
your
Max.
fan? Got your fan?
I do. I have
Okay.
four, so we're good to go.
You got your emotional support animal?
He's hiding back there, but I have him ready.
Okay, we're good to go. All right.
Yep. Uh, yeah, I'm so keen to get into this. I'm very excited because like when you think of most musicals, you have kind of the last thing before the intermission is the big
Yeah.
boom. This is how it's ending. Oh my god, cliffhanger type moment.
Yeah.
Then you have a half an hour or so of sitting there relaxing, and then it comes back with something to kind of reintroduce you. Maybe there's been a time skip. Maybe something. This song is going to be the one that kind of sets us up for what happens, at least somewhat moving forward. And I'm super
Right.
keen to see what that's going to be.
Well, if the what's setting us up is suffering, okay. Wait, let's stop stalling. Let's get into it.
Yep, let's just get into it.
Ah.
Okay.
Don't you miss me more than you know? Then jump in the water and kiss me.
Oh, hold on.
Ooh.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, first of all, I love the electronic little something going on there, so you know this is not whatever it is. It's not real. Whether it's a dream, whatever it is, right?
I don't think it's a dream.
I don't think
The
it is.
penny dropped. The
Mm-hmm.
penny dropped. I'm like, this beautiful woman, and suddenly she didn't look like Penelope at the start, and then suddenly she's Penelope. And I'm going off the
Mm-hmm.
animatics here, guys. Like, I know that they're not always canon, but they try and draw from it. But yeah, beautiful woman, and suddenly it's Penelope saying, "Don't you miss me?" And he's saying, "I miss you so much." Then jump in the water.
That's the line.
Yo,
That's the line that told me. Like,
we got
siren.
a siren.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, though, the woman who is Penelope, her voice is beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. You need a good voice to play the siren, and yeah, she's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely pulling it off. But again, my brain immediately goes to we've just had the intermission come back, and the first thing we're getting is talk about Odysseus's longing and missing
Mm-hmm.
of Penelope.
Mm-hmm.
Again, bringing us straight back into the mindset of what it's about at the moment.
Right.
I'm going to become the monster so I can get home to the people I care about.
Well, and that answers my question I was going to have at the very beginning, where when they were the last song in Monster, they were still in the underworld, so they had to
Hmm.
make their way out.
Hmm.
Apparently, they've gotten out.
Yeah.
So frying pan fire, but still.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of think that to some degree plays into the monster song because on the way in there, they were meant to be struggling and having trouble because he was feeling all those emotions and being hurt and being upset by everything. He's gone cold now to a degree. He's like shutting his mind off to all that. I'm going to be the monster so that I can
Mm-hmm.
get to my goal. Blinders on everything. So I reckon on the trip out, he was just numb. He just did
Mm-hmm.
not care.
Yeah, and now the siren is okay. Here we go, I guess.
Hmm.
Kiss me more than you know. Then jump in the water and kiss me. Penelope, I've told you this before. You know I'm afraid of the water. I'll make sure that you are safe and sound. Come play with me and our daughter, and let's watch our love leave the ground. Oh, I would, but I...
Hold on, that tells us something else there too.
Yeah. There's one or two things going on here, and it's either when he left, she was pregnant, he didn't know about it, and she has another. They have another kid that he didn't know about.
Yeah.
Unlikely considering the age of the child.
Yeah.
Other option is that this definitely is something sus and something up because as soon as she said daughter, Odysseus should have been like, "We don't have a daughter, we have a son. Something's not right here."
right.
So he's
And
under some kind of spell, and she doesn't know enough about him.
no,
This siren doesn't know enough about him to know that it's a son, not a daughter.
right. And for whatever, or maybe she does know, but for whatever reason, like sirens, they're all female, so they can't be. She can't show him a son because whatever.
That's a
But
good point too.
So something's off here.
And let's watch our love leave the ground.
Oh, I would, but I'd be suffering trying to float the whole time.
I would take the suffering from you.
As good as that sounds, right here I'm just
I
fine.
can take the suffering from you.
You know that I prefer my feet on the
I
ground.
will take the suffering from you.
Fine, but only if you
Nice.
answer a question or two.
Of course.
Okay.
First of all, before we get into the questions, I don't know if Odysseus is playing this thing right now, but it feels like he definitely is. It feels like he's about to be like, similar to when he first walked into Circe's temple and was like, did you have something to do with that? It's a similar vibe of, well, I've got some questions first.
Yeah.
He's in the know, and he's playing her. But with that said, even with that said, those lines just then are so kind of telling to his situation.
Mhm.
That chorus being around her being like, just come in, don't worry about the problems, don't worry about what you have to do to get here, just come back to me, be with Penelope. And he's saying, yeah, but if I do what you're saying, I'll be struggling the whole time, I won't be enjoying it, I won't be happy.
Right.
And that's basically what the prophet was telling him about, when you go back, it won't be the same you. It'll be a man who's tortured, it'll be a man that's done horrible things, it'll be a man that's not the same. He's going to have to live with that. He's going to be struggling to keep his head above water, above the guilt, when he's back home living his happy life. And I feel like that's a really smart little link to put in there.
Absolutely. And I do love, she's like, I'll take it all from you. I'll take it all from you. But he's still stalling because, he said, I'm afraid of water. People like, when you're afraid of something, people are trying to get you to, come on, it'll be fine. But you're still,
Mhm.
no, I don't think so. This kind of stuff. So that makes sense there. But I was waiting because, he's getting close and she almost grabbed him. But then finally, like, okay, wait a minute. He came back. He understood. Hold on. Before I give in, let's make triple sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what are these questions? It's like, let's see, what kind of things could they ask?
Of course.
Okay, so let's say I was on the run, or hiding, from, I don't know, Poseidon. And let's say he blocked the way home with giant waves and giant storms.
Oh no.
How am I to evade him? How am I to get home? Which route should I take? Where am I supposed to go?
He will chase you high and low, so find a place he'd never go. The one way you'll get home is sailing where he's scared to roam. Oh, it's through the lair of Scylla.
No.
This is your only way home, the lair of Scylla.
But Scylla has...
Okay, hold on. Now that's a different way to go for it. I thought he was gonna kind of like ask things, when you don't know if it's really somebody, you'd ask them questions only they would know.
Yeah.
This is something Penelope would not know.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that just goes to show Odysseus never questioned that this wasn't Penelope. He was never tricked by it. He knew
Right.
this is a siren. Sirens know Poseidon and are like kind of linked with Poseidon.
Right.
Mermaid siren, they're like, she's going to know what Poseidon can and can't do and how best to evade him. So
Right.
he's trying to use that, and she's still cocky enough to think that she can trick him and kill him, so it doesn't matter what she tells him.
Right.
So
I don't know what this thing that she's talking about now. I had seen the title of one of the songs for the Thunder Saga, and it was this word, this Scylla, and I talked to a friend of mine who lives in Greece, and I said, "How do you pronounce that?" And he said,
Yeah.
it was pronounced Scylla, like they've got a really skilled singer, and this they're pronouncing it Scylla. Let me know in the comments, what you guys think. I mean, it could. I don't know if it really matters, but I'm interested to see what this thing is that has a layer that he's supposed to go through.
yeah.
He'd never go. The one way you'll get home is sailing where he's scared to roam. Oh, it's through the lair of Scylla.
No.
This is your
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I was gonna say the sharpening of the nails and the fact they put a little like ping of light off it, just showing how damn sharp they are.
Uh-huh.
And it's like these aren't even nails; these are claws at this point.
Yeah.
So it's letting the viewer know 100% that this is no, she's dangerous.
The lair of Scylla.
But Scylla has a cost.
Well, you asked and now you know. Now jump in the water.
Penelope, why? You know I'm too shy and terrified.
I would take the suffering from you.
Ooh, for you I would die, but can't you let me stay dry?
I can take the suffering from you.
You should come onto the ship. We'll jump at the same time.
I will take the suffering from you.
The things I do for you.
Yes, my man.
Oh,
I was
that's the way they.
I was
Okay.
I was so ready for him to be a fool and to fall for it. And like at the same time, the whole way, like ever since that first switch, I was like, oh no, he's got her number. And even as he was singing the chorus, I was like, nah, she doesn't know. He gets it. And yeah, then at that last moment where it looks like he's reaching down to take off his boots, I was like, are you crazy? Nope, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's a monster. That's what he is.
I know, and like this whole time now. I mean, let's talk about musically. They let out some really fantastic high notes throughout this whole thing
Incredible.
to show that ethereal kind of dream-like, we're having a moment here type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Until they got to the, Odysseus like, oh crap, we gotta go to the Scylla person. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And she swerves and brings him right back into it. That's a really clever way of writing the whole thing.
Yeah. And there's a thing like in musicals with the writing. I don't know the technical term for it because I'm not the music guy, but I know there is a thing of like repeating motifs throughout songs.
Mm-hmm.
And Epic has a fantastic one that I adore, which is that penny drop moment where there's that big boom bass note and everything kind of goes quiet as the character says like one or two lines.
Mm-hmm.
And then the song picks back up again. And every time it's goosebumps. Every time you're like, oh, damn.
Like,
and then it keeps moving.
Now?
Yeah.
Well, y'all, that was... Okay, so now we figured out things are not what they seem. Of course, we knew that. But...
No.
So he's got a bit of information, and he's got the bow and arrow. What's he going to do about it next? Oh,
yeah,
boy.
yeah. And again, bow and arrow is probably a animatic choice here. I don't know if we're about to move into a song about fighting or trying to kill the siren or things like that. But one thing that I do love, and again, I feel like this is a J choice that might be different to the actual, the actual the actual Odyssey originally. I love the fact that this is another time, same as when he was with Circe, where Odysseus is being tempted by temptress of some kind, the siren, Circe. He's getting an opportunity to get nasty, and it doesn't work on him because all he cares about is his true love. All he cares about is Penelope. At the end of the day, Jay has interpreted the Odyssey as a love story at its core, at its heart. And no temptress is going to be able to walk in and be like, oh, Odysseus, I know in the Odyssey they did, but in this, it's a very pure love story about a man trying to get back to his true love.
And really, honestly, in the Odyssey, there's been debate for centuries. It's like, look, how much did he really do that willingly? How much was coercion? And
of course.
How much consent really was there? Was he really doing something that he really did not want to do because he had to?
Exactly.
That kind of debate is a huge moral and huge, I think only in the Odyssey did they have time to really go through it. This, I think Jay has chosen, like, look, know what? We're just going to stick one side or the other. And this is how we're going to interpret it. And he didn't make it trite or, cheesy in that way. He still made it something very compelling.
Exactly. And it's a similar thing to like when I talk about the Greatest Showman. I love the musical The Greatest Showman. But in that, if you actually wrote a musical about P.T. Barnum and like the rumors of how he actually treated the people who worked at these freak shows, it would be a monstrous thing to write about.
Oh yeah.
But they don't talk about that side because that's not a fun musical. And it's a very similar thing to this. There are definitely things in the Odyssey where it's like, oh, maybe we don't put that in.
Right.
Maybe we don't put that extremely triggering thing in.
Yeah.
Like the Odyssey's dark as heck from what I've seen so far.
I mean, think of
But
the first song. Ugh.
yeah, but the fact that Jay is managing to balance that in a way where it's still not crossing extreme lines is so impressive.
Right. Well, y'all, here we go for the second act of the musical. We've hit it off with a great start. Thank you all for joining us and keeping us going with all of this. We are so excited to see what happens next. We're gonna get to go and film, the rest of this saga here in just a minute. But until next time, like it's gonna come out on this song's gonna come out on my channel. Okay. Next week we're gonna come out on DJ's channel. In between times, check out all the other videos we have on our YouTube channels. And guess what? Both of us, we have a Patreon. Okay, DJ will tell you about all of his different perks that he has on his Patreon when his video comes out. But on mine, there's 2 tiers. You can get the first tier, access to our Discord community, behind the scenes content, early releases of songs, things like that. And for the $10 tier, the second tier, you can also get a guaranteed monthly request of a song that I take a look at on my channel. I take a look at the original and the cover of that song. But if you can't check out the Patreon, that's fine. No worries. Do us a favor then. Put a like on this video. Subscribe to our channel. Check out Jorge's channel. And the Animax Gigi did this one. And give them a like and a sub. And those help out all of our channels tremendously. And they don't cost you a thing. Okay? But until the next time, until the next trauma that we are going to put ourselves through, have a good day, night, morning, evening, whatever time zone you happen to be in. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.